All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, Lord, want us to be edifying to you, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel, which your fellow servant Yahawah from the Jim Orlando camp. And Lord, want us let's be edifying, okay? All right. Now, with that, as you see the title, defining the word salvation, okay? Defining the word salvation. So we're gonna go into this word, and get some information, okay? And we do this because have people that's coming against it, coming against the doctrine, okay, trying to sow doubt, okay. The enemy is working hard, the enemy is on the forefront, so we have to work twice as hard, okay. We are set at the defense of the gospel, okay, and Lord willing, that's exactly what we do. So without further ado, I got a sound bite from these demons, and that's why I sighed so hard in the beginning, because these guys don't know which way they want to go, what they want to teach. Okay, all we can think of is the money. The money is turning them every which way but loose. All right. Now this is TGC, the acronym. Okay, TGC Ministries. Okay, with Deacon Akar and them, brother Hassad, whatever. Okay, the two, the two reprobates right now within Israel. Okay, the latest, news on these guys is that they're going off. Okay, we can tell that something's been fishy. Something happened. Okay, because they teach it now. The Gentiles can get salvation, but they also let you know that it's a certain type of salvation. No, no, listen, salvation only stands for one class of people. Okay, you cannot this salvation that's coming to pass. This salvation that's involving Yahawashi to come back and get his remnant and get his elect. That salvation is the only true salvation, and that salvation is only for the Latinos, blacks, and Native American Indians. Okay, the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, the remnant. Okay, first and foremost, the remnant. All right, the 144,000, an honorable multitude. Okay, all right. So that is when the word salvation comes up, it's only for that remnant. Okay, but these guys, they said that you can use the salvation with, for the heathens, and they're gonna prove it and whatnot. And so let's get into it.
Nevertheless, they get salvation. What does it look to? You guys have someone who is a leader in the community and me that is not going to twist what the Bible says, period. To get right into it, no, we do not believe.
And always remember, as the scriptures say, you take add not to this word. And we got this real quick. Okay, because he's saying he's the one that break it down correctly. Okay, but guess what? He's gonna be made found. He's gonna be made found a liar. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 2. We constantly, tell Jake, man, you got to be careful with this word because first of all, it's for us, but it does not belong to us. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding belongs to the on high, Yahweh Shai. Okay, starting with the supreme power Yahweh. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, your power, which I command you. Okay, you shall not add unto the word which I command you. Now, Apostle Tahar, a couple years back, and he still says it to this day, to take something away, okay, you have to add it. Okay. And to add something, you have to take it away. Okay. These guys are taking away and adding their own mind and understanding on a certain scripture, which is being deceitful because they know exactly what it means. Okay. I said, you shall not add unto the word. Okay. When you say Gentiles can get salvation, when we're talking about this type of Gentile, this Gentile is, the so-called white man, the Chinese man, it's, Arabs, okay, the East Indians, okay. You're saying that these guys, can be saved from whatever tribulation you think they're going through. You're saying that they can be delivered and then preserved to be servants in the kingdom. So I want to see how the fuck is that salvation. So let's just get back.
That Gentiles get equal salvation to the Israelites. Nevertheless, they get salvation. What does it look like? The Gentiles, and we can show this in the Bible, the Gentiles that believe on this side, they get to be tributary type servants and escape the hardcore bondage. There's two types of groups in the prophecies that say one is freely coming and going and a servant, and then one is in bondage for not choosing to be joined to Israel on this side. So what you guys are going to be forced to do as Israelites and studied men and students, you're going to have to see how do you reconcile this. And I'm not going to give you guys the whole presentation, but I do want to go over some of the verses that we're looking at. So when people say we're teaching Christianity, that's slander. That's bearing false witness. We never said they get the new covenant. We never said they're equal to us. Matter of fact, we did the Gentile compassion video kind of setting the stage for this. So tomorrow, and we wanted to take our time to fully gather everything and present this to the community. But now that it's out and so many people want to hear the presentation, people are in high anticipation for this to come out. And so that's what I've been working on tirelessly. And I wanted to show you guys here and also ask that you guys keep this confidential. Why? Because we want people inside the live class tomorrow for the presentation. So I'm going to go through a few verses and let's all just examine it and talk about it. All right. Yajadiah, we just got off the phone with Ariala and he doesn't like it, but guess what, Yajadiah? He sees it. Even he said it, I don't like it. And I didn't like it either. And I still don't like it. But God damn it, it's there in the Bible. So Marcellus, what's up, brother?
Shalom, King. So are you gonna go over like today in the varsity how a Gentile would obtain this type of salvation?
Absolutely. I'm going to give you guys some shit that is, it's going to be hard for you. Why? Because we've been traumatized and we've been downtrodden by these guys and we feel like they shouldn't get shit. But Christ said that they get a crumb. But I understand, bro. Like my family comes from Mississippi. I myself experienced the most racism, even in this all-white, predominantly city that I'm in. I don't think they should get shit. But who the fuck am I? Am I Yahawashi? Am I Yahawah?
But this is not including the Edomites, right? It's just including all other nations.
Well, let's go over some scriptures. Now, I see Kayadawan. Kayadawan was on that phone call earlier. Kayadawan, you don't have to come off of the mic, but we had a conversation with a camp leader earlier. And how did it go? It was a brotherly build, but how did it go? Bad. So when I tell you, me and Hassad seen this, let me just tell you guys this, right? 5 years ago,
this guy, this guy's full of himself. He can talk to the to the cows come home. But real quick, okay. Let me hit this real quick. Let me delete that. All right, because we got to remember, we got to remember what this all goes back to, okay, and why salvation is, a talk of the town, any religion, okay, whether that be Christianity or Ishmael. They have, I think the Muslims have some type of, or one of them, the Arabs have a type of religion where they get a bunch of virgins, when they die or something like that. Okay, but this whole this whole realm of salvation, it comes from the Israelites, you know, lacking the respect and obedience, okay, to follow the power, Yahawashi, okay, to follow Yahawah, and the Lord laid the ground, okay, he laid the paperwork down in the first covenant, okay, all right. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. All right, let me start up real quick. Down to 48. Okay, all right. And plain and simple in verse 45. If you refuse to listen to the Lord power and to obey the commands and decrees he has given you, all these curses will pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed. Okay. So we can't forget that. This is the main reason salvation is, towards the end. Okay. This is one of the main reasons, okay, that we went off, and the Lord is now ready to bring us back, ready to get that marriage, okay, ready to reconcile, okay, with the Israelites. Okay. So now when we talk about salvation, these are the reasons. The Lord will bring a distant nation against you from the end of the earth, and it will swoop down on you like a vulture. It is a nation whose language you do not understand, a fierce and heartless nation that shows no respect for the old and no pity for the young. Now we know this covenant was given, Deuteronomy 28 was given only to the Israelites. Okay. As it says, my judges, my statutes, have you known? I have not dealt with any other nation, roughly paraphrasing those scriptures. Okay. A fierce and heartless nation that shows no respect for the old and no pity for the young. Its armies will devour your livestock and crops, and you will be destroyed. They will leave you no grain, new wine, olive oil, calves or lambs, and you will starve to death. Okay. They will attack your cities until all the fortified walls in your land, the walls you trusted to protect you, are knocked down. They will attack all the towns in the land the Lord Yahawah, your God, has given you. Okay. But going here to 48, which I jumped over, all right. These horrors, verse 46, will serve as a sign and warning among you and your descendants forever. Okay, don't forget that. These are the descendants through the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Through Jacob, okay? All right? Descendants forever. And if you do not serve the Lord your power with joy and enthusiasm for the abundant benefits you have received, you will serve your enemies, whom the Lord Yahawah will send against you. You will be left hungry, thirsty, naked, and lacking in everything. Now, I can't see the Chinese lacking in anything. Okay? Shit. The Arabs are even getting help as a whole nation. Okay? These East Indians are getting help. When they come over to Babylon the Great, everybody has benefits towards building a business, going to school, and getting all these different doctrines, doctrinates, or different doctor degrees. Okay? Nurse, all these different positions. Okay? Jake is just now being able to get on that same level playing field, but it's not equal, because you have generations of these other nations, of the true heathens, okay, that actually set up shop long time ago, and their children are living off the benefits of them being able to thrive in Babylon, while the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, as it says here in 48, you will serve your enemies. We have been serving our enemies, okay, and that's not just Edom, okay, whom the Lord will send against you. You will be left hungry, thirsty, naked, and lacking in everything. Now, the only people that are lacking in anything are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. We don't have an army, okay? We do not have right now, as we stand, we are a nation of people, but we do not have a structure. We're destroyed. The Lord will put an iron yoke on your neck. Now that was slavery, okay? Hardcore bondage slavery, oppressing you harshly until He has destroyed you, okay? We cannot forget these things, man. The one dude, he mentioned the brother. He mentioned, okay, is this not just about Edom? Is it? It's about the other nations too, or whatever about getting salvation. Okay, listen. There's no salvation given to any of these true heathens. Okay, the true heathens, the true Gentiles will not get salvation at all. This ain't just talking about one nation. We're talking about multiple. Okay, this is this is Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. All right. They have said, Salakia, let me get up. Verse 1. All right. Psalms chapter 83. God don't keep silent is the header. Okay. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. Oh God, this is what and I'm gonna read it verbatim. This is what we're saying in this time. Okay. We are saying, keep not thy silence, Lord. Hold not thy peace and be not still, oh God. So we want the Lord to act on these individuals. Okay. So salvation in any that's not the salvation is not the word to put with these Gentiles, okay? The true heathen nations. For lo, thine enemies make it tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head. Okay. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together, many nations, with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom is going to name the nations. Okay. And the Ishmaelites of Moab, okay, the tabernacles of Edom, so-called white men, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, okay, of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek, an Edomite nation again, okay, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah, doing to them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kasan. Okay. Now, did they get salvation during that time? Asaph is saying, do unto them as he has done unto them. Okay. Now let's check this out. Okay. Okay. So it's Numbers chapter 31, verse 17. Okay. The command to destroy the Midianites is found in Numbers 31, verse 17 to 18. God instructed Moses to take vengeance on the Midianites for their role in leading Israel into apostasy and idolatry. Okay. The command specifically targeted male Midianite children and women who had known men by lying with them, while young virgin girls were kept to be alive for their potential role in Israel. Right. Sean, you can't the fucking you can't these Western mindset Jakes, they can't get over that. That's a stumbling block to them. Okay. The young women were spoils. Okay. They were part of the war. Okay. And they went through a process according to the law. Shave their head, clipping of the nails, let them mourn the death of their parents for a certain amount of time. Okay. This command was part of a broader response to the Midianites' action at Baal Peor, which led to a plague against Israel. Okay. So you see, the Lord came up against them. Okay. And if you were to get into these other ones too, all right, these guys didn't have no salvation. And then the Lord is a man that he shall not, is a man that first off should not lie, but he's also, he's not uh, to change, to be flip flopping like you guys out there. Okay. All right. Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So, you guys are pretty much saying it's going to be a lighter sentence. Okay. You're saying that it's going to be a lighter sentence, which we'll get back to the video, you know, which you can't use salvation in any of these tribes, vicinity. You can't use the word salvation in their area. Okay, when we're talking about, salvation, pertaining to the Israelites only. Okay, all right, which perished at Edner, they became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a Reb and like Zib. Yeah, all their princes as Zeba and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheat, as the stove before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth mountains on fire. Okay. And should I even read anymore? Hey, this is going to be the same thing that's going to be required and at the end. Okay. Every nation, here in Babylon the Great will be utterly burnt up. Okay. If you're not of the remnant of the elect, okay, of the chosen, it don't matter who you are. Even the 2/3 are going to be burnt up in Babylon the Great. There's that lake of fire. Okay. It's going to take place here in Babylon the Great. Okay. But showing you this, it shows you that the mindset is, hey, Lord, come against them, do unto them, render unto them what they have done to us. Keep not thy silence, Lord. All these nations have taken a shot at us, man. Okay, so there's no salvation piece to their name at all. Okay, there won't be any type of word salvation close to the name at all. They're gonna have to be fucking servants. And it's just action me, and I shall give the heathen for thine inheritance. Okay, they're not gonna be. Let's just hear. Let's hear what the rest of you talk about, man. It's because of these guys, man. Uh, that you got to defend the doctrine. Okay, these guys, is cunning. Okay, they come up some other way, and they try to, sow doubt.
So 5 to 7 years ago, I seen in Paul's writings in Acts that a lot of those were non-Israelites. I told Alizar about it. He said if I could prove that, then we got to throw away all of Paul. I didn't want to go that route, so I just left it alone. I hit up Hassad. I said, Hassad,
That's a proud statement in itself, right there, man. They really think the scriptures contradict themselves. No, the scriptures work together. From the old to the new, it transitions out smooth, man. The Lord does not contradict himself. You telling the Lord that He made His word imperfect. You got plenty of quotes from the Old Testament inside Apostle Paul's writing. Okay, as it is written, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of that follower. Okay,
look over this and see if I'm tripping. So people think that just this last week I seen something in the Bible and got a good idea. I've been knowing this whole time. But I didn't. I would rather say Paul was wrong than to say that that this is true. So Hassad goes over it and he sees, yeah, bro, a lot of these are non-Israelites. So Hassad stays on it all this time, all these years. He's trying to find the answers. He's trying to reconcile this. And it just came to a point where he's like, bro, I feel like God is judging me. He got fired, his car broke down, marriage in shambles, losing weight, hairline looking like mine.
come on, man. I feel like God's judgment says, through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom, man. Okay, it tells you that thinking not strange. Okay, so you just up and change everything because you felt like you had that scripture wrong. Maybe the Lord was judging you because you were following this deacon. First Peter chapter 4, verse 12. All right. Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. What happened to that, Hassad? You feel me?
Damn near. And he felt like he's getting judged because we're not bringing this out and we know it. There was about 6 questions that he couldn't answer 2 weeks ago. Who the new covenant is for? Do they get the new covenant? What will be their role and position? Do they rule with us? Do they go? Are they in our land? Are they in their land? What about Edomites? So there was about like 6 questions that he didn't have the answers to, and I didn't really care to deal with it. But the Spirit got on me about 2 weeks ago on the Sabbath, and I was able to say, if we can prove this outside of Paul, then we got to teach it. So, Brother Jared.
All right. So obviously I came up under this, right? Because this really sounds like the Messianic movement. Basically, outside of, they believe that you become tribes with faith. Obviously, we know that's not true. But their stance is that the true Israelites, and from their understanding, it's the small hats. They're a step under them, but they would basically what I guess we would call be co-heirs, where they get to be in the land and participate in the kingdom. So that's their stance. So like what obviously you're going to break all this down. So what would your response be to that?
A co-heir doesn't mean that's not bad. A co-heir doesn't mean you get everything equal. If I have 2 people in a will, you guys are both inheriting something, but that doesn't mean you're inheriting the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
It does. I'll let you finish before I say something else.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So when my wife and I first joined the varsity, I guess this was last year, one of the questions I had that I struggled with was it feels like we got the short end of the stick with all the judgment and the slavery and all the stuff that we got. and they get to skate. So we don't know what they did in prior incarnations.
Exactly. That's the point. Okay. It's a lot of things that have not been brought back. And this is why the scriptures tell you, dearly beloved, avenge not thyself, because we wouldn't know where to start. It's so many things that's covered up. We wouldn't even know where to start or how to activate that the righteous vengeance that they should have. Okay. Jake gotta be tapped on their mental about everything that happened aforetime for that fire to be lit up in them. Okay. Right now, Jake is asleep and lying. All right. But pretty much what this guy is saying, that hey, one of his questions was, we get the shit in the stick pretty much, because now after being captive under these devils through hardcore bondage slavery, okay, through all the type of the alligators, you know what I'm saying, the buck breaking, the putting the big dude out there and demasculating him in front of the children, the whole systematic they had set up, the whole system they had set up for us to fail as a nation. Okay.
But in this lifetime, they believe on Christ, they try to keep some of the commandments, and they basically get to skate on the judgments we didn't get to skate on. That's the feeling I got when I came into this.
Mm-hmm.
So what would your response be?
Yeah, so that's going to be something that people ask. They're going to say, so they get to escape the judgment when we weren't able to escape the judgment, right? That's your question, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's for one, it's not escaping anything, it's prophecy. If the Lord prophesies something is going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not somebody escaping anything. That's for one. For two,
it is escaping. If you're saying they get salvation on any type of level, okay, let's go here real quick. Now, they're going to pronounce it Yeshua, okay, but it's pronounced Yahawashi. That's the only begotten son, okay? The first spirit, born to Yahawah. All right.
Strong's H3444. Yeshua. Yeshua.
Okay, and it is the definition outside of came out of Isaiah 51. Here, I can get it, pull it up again. Let me pull it up again so you guys can see. Isaiah 51, and I believe it was verse 4. There you go. Okay.
Strong's H3468. Yeshua. Yeshua.
The one I had before.
Second entry.
Isaiah.
Yeshua. Yeshua.
Okay, we can go with that. Let me see. All right, it says to save, be saved, be delivered, to be liberated, be saved, be delivered, to be saved in battle, victorious, to save, deliver, to save from mortal troubles, to give victory to. Okay, now I just read you, Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Okay, I just read you Psalms 83. All right, primitive root, properly to be open, wide, or free. An example, implication to be safe, casually to free or secure. At all, avenging, defend, deliver, help, preserve, rescue, be safe, bring, having salvation, savior, give victory. Okay, when you give victory or something, all right, when a nation gets victory over a nation, the other nation does not get to join in on the win. Okay, the other nation has to be tributaries to the nation that won. Okay, they don't get to join in and then be all happy and shit. They got a process of mourning, and anytime you're mourning, you are not in a salvation state of mind. Salvation brings joy and peace and happiness. Okay. Let me read this real quick. Isaiah 51, verse 2. Look unto Abraham, your father, and unto Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone and blessed him, and increase them. For the Lord Yahawah shall comfort Zion, okay, no other nation. He will comfort all her waste places, all right, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Okay, verse 4. Hearken unto me, my people, and give unto me, O my nation, for law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. Let's see. So that word redeemed is. Okay, because it said we'll be bought without money. But
Strong's H 6299. Pada.
okay, to ransom,
Pada.
redeem, rescue, deliver, to ransom, to allow one to be ransomed, redeemed. Okay, redeemed. Ransom junior, to release, preserve, and all deliver by any means ransom that are to be let be. Okay. All right, let me see something real quick. Salvation.
Strong's H 3444. Yeshua. Yeshua.
Okay, salvation, deliverance. What do you need deliverance from? Your enemies. Welfare, prosperity, deliverance, salvation by God, victory. Okay, something to save and extract deliverance, hence a victory, prosperity, deliverance, health, helping, salvation, saving, health, welfare. Okay. It's a lot. Didn't mean to go there.
On us. We're the covenantal people. So when you look at the Bible, it says, I'm going to punish you, Israelites, even though you're doing the same thing as the Gentiles. Why? Because I'm your father. So that's why we get a stricter punishment. But there are cases where righteous Israelites escape judgment. Let me ask you this. Was Jeremiah delivered from captivity?
No, he had to live through it.
He didn't get taken and changed to Babylon.
Well, okay. I mean, but yeah, he wasn't free, but obviously the nation went under captivity.
Yeah, he was in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was not necessarily being occupied. The captivity was up to Babylon. Jeremiah was able to escape that. So there are examples. Let me give you another example, because listen, I'm telling you right now, any question you have, we have an answer for this. That's why we confidently wanted to debate a camp leader on this to introduce it, because it would have been absolutely bad. But being that nobody will take this, we're going to do the presentation.
Man,
let me give you another example.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
In Jeremiah 49, God promised judgment on all the nations, right? That Nebuchadnezzar would destroy every nation surrounding him. When you look at Jeremiah 49 and 11, it says that he was going to judge Edom, but he said he was going to leave some of their widows and their children, right? So even though he judges a nation, that doesn't mean everybody from that nation. What was your question?
Damn. Would you? I'm gonna say this, then I'm.
No, ain't no damn. Let's hear that again, man. And that's a snake.
Gonna leave some of their widows and their children, right? So even though he judges a nation, that doesn't mean everybody from that nation. What was your question?
Damn. Would you? I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna mute. Would you consider?
These guys. It's say their mouth. Because their mouth must be stopped. Okay. There is no in to all the people. Just because the Lord didn't completely destroy them doesn't mean that he had a divine type of salvation or mercy for them. Okay, because ultimately he saved them for the end, for the prophecies at the end. Just like you say, he's bound by his prophecies. Okay, if Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16. All right, this is one of the reasons why he didn't completely destroy. All right, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So let me grab this real quick in a different translation. So there's no end to the people. The Lord is already letting you know that. Okay. I guess you do Young's little child. There is no end to all the people, to all who were before them. Also, the latter rejoice and not in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation. So, when you got snakes like this,
Closer to
In that nation. What was your question?
damn.
Judge Edom, but he said he was going to leave some of their widows and their children, right? So even though he judges a nation, that doesn't mean everybody from that nation. What was your question?
Damn. Would you? I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna go on mute. Would you consider read the
he's not gonna in this last time, he's not gonna completely destroy Edom right away because they have a mission to fulfill. Okay, and it's not gonna be because they let us put them in captivity. It's not gonna be, oh, you guys, it's time to rule. Here, come put us in captivity. Come put us, come rule over us. No, we're gonna have to put them in subjection. They're not. See, people think these nations are just gonna be willing to lay down. You know how proud China is. You know how proud Korea is. Some of these people, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to strike fear in them. Okay? And that's not a part of salvation. All right? If they have to have any type of fear put in them so that way they can serve us, okay? Pretty much taking their government down, okay? They're not going to like that, man. They're still going to be trying to fight too. But if we put them down, all right, and put them in subjection and told them, listen, this is what you're going to do. You are going to be our slaves for a amount of time. Well, honestly, infinitely, they're going to be tributaries to us. They're going to be as it says, actually me, and I should give the heathen for thine inheritance. They're going to be our inheritance, our possessions. Okay, I think it's in Isaiah or Psalms too. All right, Psalm chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Okay, so we're going to be in rulership. There won't be no type of salvation. Now, would they have a lighter judgment than Edom? Yes. Okay. Because after that period, that 1,000 years, I believe, that period time of Esau, being in hardcore bondage and slavery under us, he's going to perish away. Okay, as it says in Job, he's going to perish away, like his dung. Okay, it's Job 20, verse 7. All right. Yet they will vanish forever, thrown away like their own dung. Those who knew them will ask, where are they? Okay. And you know it's talking about Esau, though his arrogance reaches the heavens and his head touches the cloud. Okay, I think it's in Thessalonians. He make himself to sit in this, thinking he is God. Okay, he will perish forever like his own dung. Those who had seen him will ask, "Where is he?" Okay, he will fly away like a dream, never to be found. He will be chased away like a vision in the night. Okay, so he won't even be after that point of time. Then there will be an end to that nation. Okay, but before everything still had prophecies to play out. There was prophecies to play out. So of course you needed everybody back in their lot, every nation here out today. Okay, it's Psalms 83 to be confederate against the Lord, to be to put in the mindset, come let us cut them off from being a nation. They had to be here. So that way when the judgment comes, you know, it's going to be full fledged on all these nations, not just Edom. Okay, not just Edom.
Debating.
Hey, and this man here sitting here thinking that was deep. That's not fucking deep.
It says that he was going to judge Edom, but he said he was going to leave some of their widows and their children, right?
And that was for, so they can regroup as a nation and get back in power. Okay, as they are in today's time, and ultimately fulfill what Isaac, blessed them with, the fatness of the earth. Okay, the fatness of the earth, the sword. Okay, and live it all the way on out, as it says in the scriptures. Esau is the beginning, Jacob is Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
So even though he judges a nation, that doesn't mean everybody from that nation. What was your question?
Damn. Would you? I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna go on mute. Would you consider redebating?
And the Lord is going to judge the Edomites when we get put back in our land and we get to work on these heathens. The Lord is going to judge every single one. Okay, some are going to be judged here in Babylon the Great and across the world, going to get Edom missile and die in starvation and hunger and all that, famine, whatever. Okay, teeth of wild beasts, and then others are going to be, others are going to be spoils of war. Okay, spoils of war. Okay, and they're going to be beaten into subjection. That's not salvation, man. Ask of me, and I shall give the heathen for thine inheritance. There's no salvation where you are a possession to this person. There's nothing salvific about it, if that's a word.
Radar, because this is closer to probably what his stance would be. Obviously, he's off on some things, but would you consider that?
Absolutely, because my stance is still he was trying to play around and say they're gonna serve, but then they're only serving in not in the eternal order in the millennial reign. I'm saying the Bible says the eternal order starts right when Christ comes back, so he would lose that debate still.
Okay,
because they're still under the Israelites, even the what we would call the righteous Gentiles. Is there a lot of them? We don't know. How many was it? 100,000? We don't know. All we're saying is, generally speaking, we see it in the book. So I want to show you guys something. Watch this.
This is big. I want to say this is damn near bigger than Paul.
Oh, this is his history will be made.
No, man, he's added to the scriptures. Okay, he's added and taken away. Okay,
Shamor, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, I was literally just talking to my wife like a few days ago about like salvation, because I want to do a deep dive into it, because I felt like there was a disconnect amongst really pretty much every community based on who can get salvation or not. Because when I first got into the truth, I believed that all nations could get salvation, but the reason why I believe that is because I still believe in hell. So I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, long story short.
Wait,
right?
you still believe in hell?
No, not right now.
Oh,
not
okay,
right now.
got you.
But then when I was introduced to because I think IUIC believed in hell, and that's who I was listening to at that time. Then when I got introduced to Sakari, and then I heard the explanations, my thing was, when it comes to salvation, from what I've been studying, from what I know now, I thought that salvation was synonymous with, amongst other things, but inheriting the kingdom of Israel. and no other nation outside of Israel can inherit the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I asked you a question about Ezekiel 42, I think, when it
47.
said 47, yeah, and that was probably like the only thing that I couldn't really wrap my head around because I felt like there's no way. I mean, maybe it is talking about Israelites, but it just felt like if we are in the kingdom, how are we still being foreigners?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, as far as my research, that was the only thing that I ever stumbled upon that kind of like slipped me up a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're
Yeah,
gonna talk about that or not.
we'll talk about that.
All right.
Let me get Kenneth, and then I want to show you guys a few verses. All right. So please definitely define salvation. Got you. Brother Kenneth, we'll go ahead, King.
Shalom, Lord. I was just a bit confused because so is the position salvation, or the position is how the other nations is going to be treated in the kingdom?
It's salvation. So people can play a game with the word salvation. Salvation is what it is. You're being saved from the wrath of God. These Gentiles who choose to be joined to us and be our tributaries, they're being saved from going.
These Gentiles are not going to choose, man. I just told you how proud Moab is. Okay, the scriptures talk about why do the heathen imagine a vain thing? Okay, and I'm not going to go to it. All right, there might be a part 2 on this. Okay, here we go. Anyways, why do the heathen imagine a vain things? Because they feel like they're going to be next in the ruler seat of this earth, and we're going to have to put them in subjection. Korea and all these different nations. They're gonna think it's their time. They're gonna think it's their time to shine, and we're gonna have to come through and let them know that we're the ones up next. Okay. Let me see. All right.
From going into bondage and the lake of fire. So it's still salvation, however you want to put it. But let me show you guys this real quick. Let me show you guys a few verses. Watch this.
Hey, everybody's stuck on this stuff, man. Everybody's stuck on what he's saying because there's no other way you could twist it. You can't twist it no other way. Okay, it's no other. It's just, everybody's fucking got this 1,000-yard blank stare, and they don't believe this man.
And I want you guys to see this. When we was on the phone with these camp leaders, a brother that was, as a matter of fact, one of the brothers are in the varsity anyway. So look at this in Acts 26. In Acts 26 and 17, I want you guys to tell me, are you going to be honest with the text? Delivering thee from the people. Who is the people here, everybody? Who is the people? I'm going to tell you right now, when the Christian apologists get a hold of this, Israelites are going to be forced to tell the truth about the Bible, or you're going to look fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language. Anybody want to say who the people are? Every time you see the word the people in the Bible, it's the Israelites. The NLT says your own people. So this is Christ speaking, according to Luke's account, delivering Paul from the Israelites and from the Gentiles. Who are the Gentiles here? Israelite, and this is why tomorrow I'm announcing that I cannot be a part of One West no more. I'm a Hebrew Israelite of the nation of Israel.
So he's saying delivering thee, and this is why we say you must continue in what you was taught. So if you were taught that the Lord changed not, okay, in the Old Testament he hated the Edomites, he's gonna hate the Edomites in the New Testament. Okay, he have not dealt so with his law, statutes, and judgments when it came to the heathen nations. It's gonna be the same thing on this time here. Okay, so he says delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Okay, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness and to light. Okay, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Let's see what else he said.
Real, but I can't say I'm from one West. I'm tired of having to say stupid shit like John, have to deal with shit like John the Baptist, not the truth. If you're not in a certain camp, you can't get salvation. And then some Israelites might say, delivering you from the people and from the, like Yadi would say, the Hellenized Jews is the Israelite. So Hebrew Israelites are saying, delivering you from the Israelites and from the Israelites. What's more bugged out? What is more bugged out from a scholarly perspective? That somebody says, yeah, deliver you from the Israelites and the Israelites. Or somebody to say, deliver you from the Israelites and the non-Israelites. That's just one. We have 82 verses like this that God never put in the hands of a Christian apologist. We should be lucky that God didn't have these apologists find these 80 verses that we have. That God, scholarly perspective. You from the like y'all in a certain, I can't, which is people here. It's in Acts 26. In Acts 26 and 17, I want you guys to tell me,
Okay.
are you going to be honest with the text? Delivering thee from the people. Who is the people?
Let me do this real quick, Shalaki. So Paul's defense before Agrippa, and Agrippa said unto Paul, thou art permitted to speak for thyself. So Paul's being brought up on charges, right? Paul stretched forth the hand, answered himself, I think myself happy and good because I have because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all the things whereof I am accused of the Jews, especially because I knew that there to be expert in all customs and questions which among the Jews. Cease thee to hear me patiently, met my manner of life from my youth, which was known to me, which was at the first among mine own nation at Jerusalem, known all the Jews. Okay, that's a good cut. Okay, it says which was at the first among mine own nation. His own nation was the Israelites. Okay, in Jerusalem. Okay, what was he referring to when he said this? What's the opposite? Okay, what is not the first? Him being a Roman citizen. Okay, which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of our religion, I lived the Pharisees, and now I stand up and judge for the hope of the promise of made to the fathers, unto which promises are 12 tribes, instantly serving God day and night, hope to come for which hope sake King Agrippa, I am accused of being Jew. Why should it be the credit? No. It says, which thing I also did in Jerusalem, and many of the saints did I shut up in the prison. Okay, boom. Whereupon Damascus authority on midday on the fallen earth. Okay, delivering. It says, and I said, and when we were all fallen to earth, I heard a voice speaking to me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the prison. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I'm Yahawashi, Salakia, whom thou persecutest, but rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness of both of these things which thou hast seen, of the things in which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people, okay, and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Okay, so the people here, because it says the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. okay, that Gentiles, okay, you try to pull a fast one. The Gentiles here, okay, is talking about the Israelite foreigners, okay, Israelites that were living amongst these real heathenistic nations, okay, delivering thee from the people, okay, the regular people, all right, the people, King Agrippa, the people, whatever, the people that bringing up on help bringing on charges, okay, the people, where this situation was taking place, and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Okay, the Lord sent him unto the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles. Okay, to open their eyes and to turn them away from darkness to light, light from the power of Satan unto God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. Okay. Whereupon, O King Agrippa, I was not disobedient unto the heavenly vision. Okay, that they should repent. But shewed first unto them at Damascus and at Jerusalem, and throughout all the coast of Judea, and then to the Gentiles, that they should repent and turn to God and do works meet for repentance. Now, let me see this real quick. Pray the root laws.
Strong's G 2992. Laas. Laas.
It says a people group, tribe, nation, all those who are of the same stock and language, okay, of a great part of the population gathered together anywhere. Apparently, from rural people in general, thus differing from which denotes one's own populous people. No, Salakia, that's people and Gentiles. I mean, it just mentions both. Okay, let me see. Let me just double check real quick. Hold on. Let me double check here. Go to the Bible. Go to Acts 26. Well, we know that this Gentiles is talking about unto whom now I send thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Okay. Persistent giggle. Let's just check it out. But that does not change the whole plot. Okay, it does not change the whole plot that the Lord sent Apostle Paul only to the Gentiles. Okay, the Israelite foreigners. All right, that knows two whether man or beast associated living together. A company choose one multitude of individuals of the same nature or genius, the human family, tribe, nation, people group, foreign nation, not worshiping. Okay, hold on. Foreign, non-Jewish one. Let's see what else you got to say.
Who here, everybody? You got to teach it. Anybody got some smoke on this? Because I got 80 more. Brother Jared.
Not smoke, just I'm trying to digest and understand. So, because obviously y'all studied into this. I remember when you were teaching into, I forgot what lesson it was, the mixed multitude in the wilderness. Because it sounds like I'm trying to correlate this to how the Most High treated the mixed multitude. So obviously they had to live among us. They had to keep the same laws.
That's why That's exactly what we're starting with tomorrow. We're starting the presentation like they got salvation with us at the same time in the Old Testament, and they were brought out to be our servants.
Right.
It's the same concept with this end time eschatological salvation.
It's okay. I mean, would you agree that the Most High treated them like shit? I mean, like I forgot what it was. What book was that? Was it? I can't remember, but basically when he was talking about how they were.
All right, that's enough of that shit. But hey, Lord, when I can do a part 2 on this here. Let me see something real quick. Okay, this is John, 1 John chapter 2, verse 19. All right. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us, continued in the doctrine, the true doctrine, the fact that, the Lord said, I change not. Okay, I give my law, statutes, and judgments unto Jacob. Okay, and unto Israel. All right, I have not chosen any other nation. You only have I chosen out of all of the family. These other nations are not getting salvation. They're gonna have to be tribute. They're gonna have to be slaves to us, man. They are slaves. There's no salvation when you deal with slavery. But they went out. Okay, talking about these dudes here that fall out, but they went out. That they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. You see, they're being made manifest because they're changing the doctrine. Okay, all right. So, hey, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, until next time, I'm going to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bashim Yahawashi, Bashim Kakodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.